Hi Crosswatchers for Aries, welcome to your October 2019 cross-watching video. We're gonna check in here and see what's happening with the energy. If you are an Aries and you're just watching to see what I say about you guys, keep in mind these are general readings still, okay? So it may apply, it may not apply. Also, this is going to be for Crosswatcher energy. So your person may not be on my channel. Your person may not believe in tarot readings at all. So there's that as a factor as well. So this is going to be for a specific part of the Aries population. So we will see what is happening here for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What Crosswatcher needs to keep in mind. And we're asking Michael to bring in truth and high vibration, Archangel Michael. Asking Archangel Raphael to bring in healing and loving energy. So we want information that's going to be for the highest good of all. And the best and highest good of all parties. Constructive, positive energy here. Thank you. All right, my dear. So let's get right on into it. First, we have the Hanged Man. All right. People don't like to see this card because there's a certain indication with the Hanged Man that there's not a whole lot going on. But there's something you need to understand about this card. When we have the Hanged Man coming up, it's basically letting us know, first of all, it's a major arcana card. So the major arcana cards come up when we're at a significant crossroads, a significant change, a moment in our spiritual development. So when the Hanged Man comes up, it's basically saying the universe has put something on like this cosmic timeout. Not because someone's in trouble, not because somebody's been naughty, but because the situation needs to be looked at from a different angle. You all are missing something. There's something that you're not quite grasping. There's something that you're not quite seeing. And I'm hearing here, Crosswatcher, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Hence, that might be why there is this pause here in the situation. Like, it might actually happen. And then what? Are you considering all of the factors? This doesn't mean that you can't be happy in this situation. It simply means you might be looking at the situation with rose-colored glasses. And there's some things that your angels and guides are asking you to take into consideration here. Whether they be about Aries, whether they be about you and your own challenges that might occur in a relationship, but you're being asked to look at the situation from all sides and all angles. Some of you, not all of you, but some of you are really like hung up on a specific Aries that you're waiting for this person to come back. But you're not thinking about the fact that there's a lot of things right now that need to be healed or cleared. Even though this Aries may be coming back, there's things that need to be healed or cleared if this relationship is going to work out. So you're being asked to try to look at the situation from all sides. This may be a good time, Crosswatcher, to take this up in prayer, take this up with your angels, meditate on it, and ask them to help you. Just say, God, angels, please help me to see anything that I'm missing about the situation. Help me to see any challenges that may be coming up ahead that I haven't really realized. Help me to see the full big picture here. Help me to make an educated choice, an educated decision, because I really do feel like some of you, like there's something important about the situation that you're missing that can really end up being a make it or break it situation down the road. Hanged Man could also indicate that your Aries maybe is not super ready right now to take massive steps or big steps in the relationship, whether it be, putting a label on the relationship as, being an official couple or getting engaged or getting married or moving in together or having kids or buying a home or moving or starting a business or any kind of thing that makes a relationship a little bit more permanent. They might not be ready for some kind of big leap or some kind of big change right now. And that may be frustrating you, Crosswatcher, but this is saying take a moment and try to see it from that different angle. Maybe try to see it from their angle. Maybe try to understand where they're coming from. There's a reason for this. So ask your angels and guides to help you see it. Next, we have the Death card. Okay, so some of you are coming to this energy, Crosswatcher, or maybe Aries is feeling this about you, Crosswatcher. Maybe you're the one not super ready to move forward, and maybe they're just kind of feeling like, this isn't going anywhere. I just want to end this. I just kind of want to let this, end. Some of you are feeling like you're growing apart or growing distant from your Aries, or your Aries may feel that way because there could be some kind of ego death happening. So ego death happens when someone goes through a really massive transformation and they do begin to see themselves in a different light, and they do begin to see the world in a different light, and they do begin to realize who they are on a soul core level before all of the programming in childhood happened, before all the labeling through life happened. They begin to see themselves at like the pure kind of center of who they are, or they begin waking up and they begin having a spiritual awakening, and they might look around and all of a sudden feel like, wow, I don't have a whole lot in common anymore with my friends. Or they might even feel like they don't have a whole lot in common with their family. There could be really big changes. There could be really big transitions. For some of you, there might be some celebrations that are being postponed because of the death, because of a death in the family. Like maybe right now isn't the best time to be planning a wedding, or maybe right now isn't the best time to be, doing something that might be seen as a celebration. Maybe there's something happening with some kind of a mourning. This may not be a literal or physical death. Maybe Aries is just going through a lot of changes. And they might just be kind of like in an energy of releasing and releasing their past hurts or experiences before they can really be present in the relationship. That could be happening for some of you as well. I am feeling though with these cards, I'm not gonna lie, and again, I'm not trying to be negative, I feel like one of you might be wanting to pause the relationship, and the other one of you may be in the energy where you're like, no, well then let's just end it. Right? And the person's like not wanting to end it. The other person, they're saying, I don't want to end this. I need some space. I need some time. So it could be you, Crosswatcher. You could be like, oh, well, if you're not moving forward, Aries, then I don't have time. Bye. But, you're being asked to try to see the situation through their eyes, and you're being asked to try to see that this Aries may be going through a really, really significant transformation at this time, and they could really do with some patience and some understanding, because there could be things within themselves that they're trying to clear out of the way, because ultimately they want to have a successful relationship. Ultimately, they want to be a good partner, and so this clearing has to happen so that they can be. So that's something, Crosswatcher, you are being asked to consider or to keep in mind. Next, we have here the Eight of Cups. All right, so you all are definitely in an energy where there's a lot of soul searching, and I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening. I see this happen all the time with a lot of love readings with this Eight of Cups. What happens is there's somebody you waited for a long time, or you waited for a long time to find your person, or to get married, or to have kids with someone, or whatever. Like, it was very important to you, and it could have even been a very specific person that you waited for a long time, and then you got it. You all ended up together, and then because it didn't have this magic effect that you anticipated, you might start doubting, well, maybe this isn't my soulmate. Maybe I made a mistake. I thought this was my soulmate. And what Spirit is saying, you started off with two major arcanas. You are dealing with a soulmate. We do have more than one soulmate. This is true. But you did manifest this person. But what Eight of Cups is saying is that the other person is not necessarily the problem in the situation or the scenario. You're not feeling this way because there's something, you chose the wrong person. You're feeling this way because you are disconnected from your spiritual center. And until you connect with your spiritual center, you are going to go through relationship after relationship kind of feeling the same way. right? Where you're just like, I thought this was going to do it for me, but it's not. So Crosswatcher, if something feels missing here, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not being judgmental, I'm saying this with love. If something feels missing in your relationship with Aries, Aries may not be the problem. Okay, it could be about you having to make your connection. You might be looking for something to fulfill you, and it's not quite fulfilling you. Also, Aries tend to be very much go-getters. Aries tend to be very busy. Aries tend to be constantly pushing themselves to do better. So Aries may be, as they're going through this awakening themselves, they may be very busy. And you may be taking that as like, well, Aries is leaving me behind. Aries isn't trying to leave you behind. Aries is working on themselves. And Aries needs you to do the same. And so you might be feeling like, oh, something is missing here, something is missing here. It's not the love connection, my dear. It's your spiritual connection. So, you know, there might be some things happening in October, Crosswatcher, where you feel like maybe you need to break up with Aries, but you know, this relationship, I feel so far, the cards are saying can definitely be salvaged if you're able to see things from a different angle, if you're able to see their side of things, and if you're able to begin going on your spiritual journey. Look for the things that fulfill you. Look for the things that, you know, give you a sense of purpose, a sense of joy, a sense of zen, a sense of, you know, connecting to a sense of love, other than romantic love. You know, what is it? For some people, it's being with animals. For some people, it's working with children. For some people, it's volunteering or helping out in the community, or volunteering and helping out the elderly, you know, whatever it might be. Something where you're dealing with love on a level that is not romantic, not sexual, not physical, but just love in the sense of the pure, innocent, you know, wholesome kind of way. The more you're filling yourself up with that kind of love, the more success you're going to find in your romantic relationship. A lot of people don't realize that sometimes. And I say this because one of the questions I get is, I don't know who my higher power is. I don't know what I believe. Like, how do I connect with a higher power if I don't know what my higher power is, right? So I'm not saying that the only way you're going to find connection in this relationship is by, you know, finding a religion and converting to some religion. I'm saying that the only way is, you know, you need to connect with the higher power, which really is love, which is just pure, unconditional, you know, love for your fellow man, love for all living things. What brings you into a sense of love? What brings you into a sense of zen? And so by doing those things, you're going to connect with a higher power. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be religion. Next, we have the wheel coming up. All right, so this is a major arcana card. This is a massive shift. And so I do feel that there's some kind of breakthrough that's happening. Okay, and I do feel like Crosswatcher, you and Aries are spiritual soulmates that are coming in to wake each other up and to have some kind of a breakthrough. And it might come in through some kind of argument or some kind of a fight. Maybe some of you are deciding to break up, and some things might be said during this breakup that are just completely and totally blowing your mind. Like you're having these epiphanies and you're realizing things that you didn't realize before. Maybe you've already broken up with these Aries and you're having memories of certain things that were said that you didn't catch at the time, or certain things that happened that you didn't catch at the time that are really opening your eyes to things that are ready to be released, or things that are ready to be healed, or why that relationship was something that you manifested in your life to begin with. But the Wheel of Fortune is telling me, again, there's coming in this healing and moving past it, being able to move away from it. Okay, so this is it, guys. And I feel for those of you where you've had this like up and down cycle with an Aries, where this Aries comes in and out, I feel like you all are making a decision this time, and this is the decision that's going to stick. You know, either you're making the decision that you're going to get over what happened in the past and start with a clean slate and move on and work it out, and that's it. That's the final decision, and you all are sticking to it. Or you're making the decision that you're done and you're moving on to different relationships, and you're going your separate ways and you're sticking to it. But whatever the case, whatever you decide, that on again, off again is ending. That in and out, you know, hot, cold, yes, no energy is ending. A decision is being made, and that decision is final. Okay? And so I think this is why your first card was the Hanged Man. It was like, hey, make sure you're looking at this from all angles, because whatever you decide in October, this is it. You guys are making your decision. This is a, you know, this is a make it or break it kind of scenario for you all, Crosswatcher. This is a big thing. We know Aries in general can be very intense signs. So if you also are a very intense or passionate person, emotions can be running high in this situation or scenario. So that's another reason why the Hanged Man would come up, to say, hey, try to look at this not so much from the emotional angle, but from a spiritual and mental, intellectual angle. Look at all of the factors. You know, look at all of the factors. I do feel there's enough in this relationship that can be salvaged. I do feel there's enough in this relationship that can be saved. I feel Aries does want to save it, but at the same time, there might be things happening here that are causing some really big triggers and insecurities, and it's manifesting in the way that it's creating setbacks, and it's not good for either one of you. And I think that's why the decision is coming in such a final kind of way. Like, are we doing this or are we not? And if we're doing this, we need to do it right. We need to suck it up and do the work. So that's the kind of energy that I'm getting here from that. Next here we have Ace of Wands. So I do feel the majority of you, and this is general, but I do feel the majority of you are going to end up, you know, seizing the opportunity for a new beginning here and making it work. Because the message with Ace of Wands is that this opportunity or this thing, whatever it may be, relationship, career, whatever it is, and in this case we're looking at the relationship between two people, but Ace of Wands says that you're gonna get back what you put into it. Whether or not this is gonna be successful depends on how you're coming into the situation and what you're willing to put into it. That's what Ace of Wands lets us know. That's what Ace of Wands says. So, you know, and again, this is about passion and things like that. So this could be saying that that emptiness that was feeling, or that lackluster feeling, or maybe you're like, oh, well, maybe Aries isn't my person. Ace of Wands could also be saying, as you're connecting with things that you're passionate about, it will be benefiting this relationship. It will be bringing you into a higher vibration. It will be bringing you into a joy. It will be making you feel more fulfilled. And that all around is a whole lot more sexy, you know, than, you know, the whole kind of like, well, I feel like you're not into me, or, you know, I don't know if we have the spark anymore, or I'm feeling depressed. And don't get me wrong, we all get depressed. I'm not saying people should never feel depressed. You know, it does happen and there's reasons for it. Sometimes people can't help that they get depressed. There could be, you know, a chemical imbalance. There could be something that requires medication. So I'm not putting people down for being depressed. What I probably should be saying is, maybe depressed is the wrong word. Maybe what I should have said is, you know, maybe in the relationship there's things that you're not satisfied and it's bringing you down, and your partner or your Aries might be seeing it as like you're moping. Like, oh, you know, why are you moping? You know, but if you're doing things where it's bringing in this passion, it's bringing in this joy, this is making the energy in the relationship a lot fresher, a lot lighter, a lot sexier, you know, even. So if this is a relationship that lost its passion or its spark or its fire, I think that if these things are kind of implemented, then the cards are basically saying that that fire is going to come back, and that might be a big part of it for some of you. You know, maybe you're feeling left out because maybe you feel like Aries isn't, you know, wanting to be with you in that way, or they're not making a move in that way. And so this is one way in which you can kind of bring that spark back into the situation, into the relationship. Keep in mind, my darlings, it is going to be different for different ones of you. So I would recommend, if you know your Aries' Venus sign, you might want to watch their Venus Crosswatcher video, but you should definitely watch the love video, October love, for your sign, whatever that might be. And you can find those in the description. There's a link in the description of the video that will take you to the October love readings. You might also want to watch your Venus for yourself in your love reading. That could be helpful too. And you can maybe take these different general readings and piece the puzzle pieces together in that way. I know some people find that to be very helpful, especially if they're unable to afford a private reading at that time. I know a lot of people have been able to like just gather bits and pieces that resonate, and it's been very helpful for them. I've received a lot of messages from people fairly recently even, and a lot of you are very sweet. You've been messaging and saying, oh, I never comment on the videos, but I've been watching you for a year. And I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. That's cool to know that somebody's been watching for a year. And I haven't seen you in the comments. And like, it's, but like, people have been sharing with me, like, the fact that they've been able to get a lot of helpful information, and that's why they haven't booked a reading, and they kind of feel bad about not booking a reading. And I don't want you guys to feel bad about not booking a reading. If it's not in your budget, it's not in your budget. I understand. The reason for these videos is to deliver help and to deliver messages, to be a channel for spirit, right? That's all I'm here to do. And if it's helpful, that's why I'm here. I'm glad that it's helpful. But if you do want to book a private reading, you can definitely click on the Calendly link in the description of the video, and everything is there, the different readings I offer, the prices, how to schedule the next available, all the info you need is there. There's been an issue with Calendly and PayPal. They're telling me it's fixed. So when I get a moment, I'm going to try to go on there and try to link it back up. But if Calendly does not take you to PayPal to pay, if you don't go into PayPal to pay, if it doesn't happen, then I haven't been able to fix it just yet, and you're going to have to PayPal separately. That's just a little minor kind of bump right now, and hopefully I'll get it fixed with Calendly soon, maybe later on. Hopefully by the time you click on the link, it'll be fixed. But if not, it should be fixed soon thereafter. Again, guys, I thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I am wishing you a fabulous October, and I hope that you all watch your weekly forecasts as well, because there's a whole lot to life other than love. So don't forget to watch your videos for you during the week, my darlings. Take care.